Hello everybody, I'm your host Wheel Trouble, and we're going to take some time to talk about one of my favorite topics, women. More specifically, we're going to be talking about women who ride motorcycles. Before we do that, however, remember to hit like, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with all of your friends. Now, let's jump into the topic of women who decided to put some real excitement between their legs. It's no secret that there's not exactly a lot of riders of the feminine persuasion. Why is that? Not being a woman, I honestly don't have a clue. To that end, I did what every man is afraid to do. I asked the experts. The women themselves. I asked women who I know ride. I asked women who I know that don't ride. If you're a woman who stumbled on my channel, we're even asking you to pitch in your 2 cents in the comments below. Doesn't matter if you ride or not, I'd like to hear your take. Here's some of the feedback that I got so far. One of the major factors that prevents women from riding stems from the fact that motorcycling is not viewed as being a feminine hobby. This one perplexes me, and it offends my sensibilities a fair amount. I suppose that a century ago, when women were not quite viewed as equals and something to be protected, one could maybe make that argument. This is the current year, and women are equal as far as I'm concerned. In any case, this is what the girls told me, so let's just run with it. Since the argument is that riding isn't seen as womanly, that leads me to believe that we're just not seeing the role models that media keeps telling me that girls need. Or they're powerless to do anything other than sewing. Really, people? That's the most sexist thing I've ever heard. There's a solid history of women in riding, so here we go. I can't begin to cover all the women in the sport, so this is just a highlight reel. It's not really even a highlight reel. There's plenty of great female role models in our sport, and the only way to miss them is, frankly, just to be willfully ignorant. There's the clubs. Yes, actual organizations devoted specifically to women riders. One of the oldest is the Motor Maids. This group was founded in 1940, starting off with 51 members and has since grown to well over 1,300 members and has regular meetups across the country. Initially, this club was particularly focused on showing women that they could ride, while still maintaining their feminine qualities. That's actually straight off their Wikipedia page. I guess there was something to all the girls telling me that motorcycles aren't girly. They also promote motorcycle safety in addition to the camaraderie that all riders tend to share. There's a huge list of motorcycle clubs that are exclusive to women in addition to the prestigious Motor Maids. These include the likes of the Devil Dolls, Women in the Wind, Furies MC, Chrome Angels, the Sirens, Camel Curves, the Litas, the Femme Fatales, the Bikerni, Sisters Eternal Women's Motorcycle Club, the Deliyas, Leather and Lace, and the Dykes on Bikes. That last one needs a quick aside before I get a bunch of people trying to kneecap me in the comments section. Put your keyboards down, please. Dykes on Bikes is a serious motorcycle club that serves the lesbian motorcyclists and works hard for LGBT rights. They actually had a bit of a time trying to register their club name, as the lead word is typically seen as derogatory. Because of this, they had to actually go to court and make their case in relation to the Trademark Act's Section 2A. There have been other legal battles that were of equally silly nature. In contrast to the Motor Maids, who were founded to promote femininity within the motorcycle culture, Dykes on Bikes helps to show that women also don't need to be concerned with taking on traits that are viewed as culturally masculine. What this really shows us is that the women's motorcycle clubs are as varied as the clubs for the gents. I'm sure that there's men's-only motorcycle clubs out there too, but the majority of the clubs in my area are co-ed. Frankly, I don't care. My membership to the local trails is about as close to a motorcycle club as I expect to get. I have nothing against motorcycle clubs, far from it. I just ride for the sheer joy of riding and find the majority of clubs to be friendly enough to let you join for a ride with minimal heckling. Less formal clubs also exist too, and are easily found at normal biker hotspots and on social media sites. And women, don't be afraid to join the guys too. Most of us can be respectful, and I have enough female friends to know that you can make the most manly of us blush from time to time. You'll fit right in. Now for some notable figures, for those of you women who would like to have specific people to look up to. Like we saw in the clubs list, there's a ton of notable female riders who represent the sport of motorcycling quite well. My personal favorite is Maria Herrera of Moto3 fame. The girl is a rocket ship of a rider as far as I'm concerned, but struggles to stay upright. She's taken some rather hard spills and keeps getting back up for more. It was fun to also use her as an example during F1's Grid Girls controversy a few years back. Her answer to the whole thing? She had man candy in her paddock. Turnabout's fair play, right? There was Ashley Fialek, who retired in 2012. She made waves not only competing as a women's motocross rider, but also as a deaf racer as well. Fialek holds the honor for being the first deaf X Games gold medalist ever. If that doesn't make her tough enough, she was last known for doing stunt work, but that was back in 2012, so this info's a little bit out of date. Dirt bikes typically don't come with gauges, and when I rode motocross, I relied heavily on sound. The fact that she had to ride by feel earns my respect alone as it is. Her ability to mop the floor with me on skill level just makes her even more cool. Like the Lagartha of motocross riding. While we're on the subject of dealing with stupid levels of adversity, women in motorcycling wasn't historically easy. There's the tale of Bessie Stringfield, an African-American female rider in the Jim Crow South. The motorcycle queen of Miami is probably the perfect person to cap this off with, and I'll just give you a quick rundown of exactly how much of a groundbreaking badass rider she was. As if being African-American in the South while segregation was alive and well wasn't hard enough, women were actively discouraged from obtaining motorcycle licenses by law enforcement. If you were a woman and wanted to ride, you had to make a scene. So you can well imagine that she had to make even Satan fearful. And that act alone earns her some serious street cred. It doesn't end for her there, though. She toured the country basically living on her bike. Many places, she simply was not allowed lodging, so she'd sleep on her steed. When she needed money, she would do stunt shows. Yes, she was a competent trick rider. Bessie didn't stop there. She would also try racing, but often found that they were reluctant to give her the prize money when she won due to her being a woman. During World War II, she served our country as a domestic courier between army bases as the only woman on her team. She later went on to found the Iron Horse Motorcycle Club. There's quite a few tales about her life, and those have been retold in a few books and articles. Just search for Bessie Stringfield. This doesn't wrap it up, but it's a good point to wrap up the video. Ladies, if you're needing examples or people to look up to in motorcycling to see that you can do it too, there's plenty of them out there. You'll be sure to find a plethora of places where you can easily fit in. Much like the guys, motorcycle riding is rather accepting of all shapes, sizes, and walks of life. If you like my content, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and support me on Patreon. That's patreon.com/wheeltrouble. Hope to see y'all out there. Wheel Trouble out.